What's up guys, and welcome to another video. Now I know that you're probably thinking, what is he talking about? How am I working on my technique in completely the wrong way? But it'll all become clear in a second, so just bear with me. And I want to start by talking about posture first. So that's how we're going to get started here. And to talk about posture, I've got some examples of basically bad posture, and then hopefully this can show you what this causes in the shot, and then how to improve your posture and how this can help the rest of your shot, and all will become clear in a minute. So I didn't want to just find some random videos on the internet and go full Gordon Ramsay on someone. Come on! Instead I found my own videos, and these are pretty funny to be honest, so hopefully they're useful, and they're kind of funny to watch anyway. So let's have a look at the videos now. Also with these videos you'll see it is possible to improve your posture, which I think is really important. You'll see how I've gone from obviously having a not ideal posture to improving over a period of years, so you'll see that in a sec too. Now we'll start with the video in the top right corner, and I apologise for the quality of the video. I think it was taken on some sort of potato or something, and that's why it's so bad, but anyway, apologies for that. So I'll just start the video now and play it through, and you'll see the posture immediately. You can see that the back is very arched here, and this is causing the archer, which is me in this case, to lose the core as well, and there's no real strength through the core of the body. And then obviously you can see the alignment is very off. As I'm expanding here, I'm actually expanding downwards. You can see the elbow expanding down, and as that expansion is happening, everything is out of line and kind of twisted, and you'll see later in the video that the bow is actually being pulled to one side as well, being pulled to the right when I shoot as well. So these are all things that are caused basically by losing the core and not having enough strength, and then this causes the posture to be compromised. And then once the posture is compromised, it's very hard to get good alignment, it's very hard to have the elbow rotation, the expansion, and this video is still playing because it's slow motion, but as you can see there, now I've released, the bow is moving way to the right. Wow, so that's pretty funny. So I'll just let that play again there. So you can see the arrows going, and then the bow is moving way to the right. The release is very outward. The bow is moving way to the right. I think I think I must be trying to like hit that like button or something. Yeah. So yeah. So you can see this. Wow. That's pretty funny. So you can see all these parts of the technique that are compromised by the posture not being good, and then this leads to the alignment not being good, and generally the whole shot being compromised. You can't see it very well here, but the strength here is a real issue. So pretty much 90% of the time, the reason why someone's posture is not good is because they're not strong enough. Now, this is normally shown by the back being arched and the shoulder alignment not being good, and the posture is kind of an external indicator that, you know, an archer is not strong enough and they're overbowed. So this is a really important part to remember, and then we're going to explain how you can work on this and then how your posture can help the rest of your shot. Before I move on to the next part, I just wanted to make a note and say that this actually is a great example of not being at real full draw. And I just made a video the other day, I'll just link it up there, and this was basically explaining the difference of just being at your anchor position and being at real full draw. And clearly in this video, as you can see here, this is not what we would call real full draw. Yes, my hand is at my anchor position, but there is no alignment, there's no feeling of being inside the bow, and then it's got one of the key mistakes here that happens from not being at full draw, at real full draw, and that is that the bow comes to the right after the shot, and the overall shot is weak, and there's a collapse when you shoot. So that's a really key point here, and if you haven't seen that video already, take a look at it, and yeah, take a look at that video to explain more about that. So now if we compare this video to an example from a few years later, so that was in 2009, and then a few years later this picture was taken in 2014 or 2013 actually. So this picture was taken in 2013. You can see there's still a slight arch in the back here, but it's much better than the video example here. That video example, everything is twisted around and contorted, whereas here you can see there's a much better structure to the shot. It's a much better posture. There's still some work to do, but it's much better. And basically this amount of change in the posture mainly came from obviously technique work, but also a lot of gym work and general strength and conditioning. So that's a really important part there, because generally you have to get generally stronger overall in your conditioning to be able to improve your posture and not be overbowed as much. I would probably still say I was overbowed there, remembering how I was shooting and how my technique was, but it was much better and there was a great improvement. So that's a key element of moving your posture to a better place. Now if you move on to the picture on the left here, this was taken in 2017, and again it's a marked improvement from the 2013 picture, where I've improved again in terms of strength, and there's more training and more conditioning and more technical skill too. So I wanted to show you that, to show you what happens when the posture isn't good, and then also to show you that you can improve from frankly terrible posture to much better posture, which can help, it will help the rest of your shot basically. So if we just go over to the website here, where there's some other examples of good and bad posture and how to correct this. So here you'll see that a key element of the posture here is that the back is straight, as I said before, and this really improves the overall strength of the shot. And then also having the weight slightly forward onto the front of your feet, and I don't mean right to the tips of your toes, I mean having the balance of your weight, the center of your weight maybe slightly in front of the balls of the feet, just slightly forward, and this will help you maintain your posture and also give you better clearance with your chest guard too. So rather than being on the heels of your feet and having all the weight on the heels, which causes you to arch your back, you need to be slightly forward and maintain the back being flat. So that's really, really key. Now if we just move on down a little bit here, you'll see the difference here between having an arched back, which again causes the elbow alignment and the shoulder alignment to be not as good, compared to having a much flatter back here. And then you can see how overall the weight is slightly more forward on the archer's feet when the posture is better, and then also the alignment is slightly better, and then the chest is slightly more clear of the string as well. So that's really, really important. Now, how do you improve your posture? As I said before, it basically comes down to a few things. Obviously technical knowledge, and there's a slight, as you can see here with this arrow, a slight tucking of the hips and a slight rotation of the legs helps you to make sure to keep your pelvis in the right position and keep your back flat. But a lot of it is making sure that you are strong enough and you've got a good amount of core strength and you're not overbowed. So there are some great exercises you can do to improve this: general core exercises, general strength exercises, and bow training. And I'll put the core exercises above here, and there'll be kind of a few of them dotted around, but there's a good number of core exercises that you can do, from planks to Lechner to dead bugs to prone holds to supine holds. All of these exercises are great to strengthen your core and make it much more likely that you can maintain a stable and straight back as you're shooting, and this will really help your shot. So getting to the title of the video, what do I mean when I was saying that you are working on your technique in the wrong way? What I mean is that if you're just looking at yourself shoot and maybe your release isn't what you want it to be and you're trying to improve the release but you're not having a lot of success, maybe it's because you're not working on the root cause of the issue. A lot of the time, as I said, the posture then affects your ability to use your shoulders properly, the ability to get good alignment, the ability to expand properly. So if your posture isn't good and you're just trying to work on your release, it's probably not going to work fully. You will be able to improve your release a little bit, and you can obviously make improvements like this, but you need to treat the cause of the issue, not the symptom. You don't just go and get plastic surgery to lose weight, you go to the gym. So you need to do exactly the same here. If your posture is compromised, this is the number one priority to start with. And again, to get that posture, this involves gym work, bow training, all the stuff I normally talk about, but it's really important to do that. So make sure that you're treating your technique and working on your technique in the correct order. The posture and the stance is the foundation So that should be your number one priority, and then you build upon that. If you're working on your release to start with and you're not having success, then this is maybe an indicator that you need to work on other things and build up from that. So I hope that makes sense, and give it a try and let me know in the comments below if this has changed your view slightly on how you work on technique areas. So I hope that's provided a good amount of insight into posture and how it can affect your shot and how to work on it. As always, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And you can also find Online Archery Academy on social media, on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll put the links to that below too. Thanks for watching.